Welcome to the following presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.
The Saturday afternoon pilgrimage through the Grove on a leisurely stroll is tantamount to a religious experience here in Oxford, Mississippi. It's a procession akin to no other. This is part of the Champions Walk, leading up to the kickoff here today between the University of Mississippi and Tulane University. Welcome, everyone, to ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. From Vaught-Hemingway Stadium, folks, this is the SEC on ESPN. Folks, it's the 74th meeting all time between these two schools in what, interestingly enough, used to be considered and was a conference game in the SEC. Tulane looking to snap their 13-game losing streak against the Rebels. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones alongside Roddy Jones, Quint Kesnick down on the field. We'll all be chopping it up for this, the 74th meeting between these two schools. Roddy, Lane Kiffin has been on campus since 2020, and he has a sense of equanimity now, really landing where he needs to be with 3 10-win seasons. This team is ready.
He certainly has. They are ready. They're in a little bit of an interesting spot, though. SEC games each of the past 2 weeks. And now you go out of conference against a good group of 5 school in Tulane, a school that you can't overlook with LSU on the horizon, the number 3 team in the country. So that culture and that ability to focus on a foe that doesn't arise the same level of interest as an SEC foe is certainly going to be tested today.
Sounds like you might be talking about a trap game a little bit, potentially. Meanwhile, last week, Tulane with an impressive win against Duke, and their quarterback, Jake Retzloff, the BYU transfer, has surprised everybody in so many different ways and layers.
It certainly has. The talent was certainly there, but the way everything went down at BYU and him getting to Tulane in camp put some doubt on whether or not he was going to be the starter and how quickly he could learn the offense. But the thing that has been on full display has been his legs. 2 games, over 100 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns last week rushing.
You talking about Lamar Retzloff, right? Maybe. We'll be back with the opening kick, and Q will give us a little bit more on the Stars at QB. Welcome back, everyone, to Vaught-Hemingway Stadium here in Oxford, Mississippi. 74th meeting all time between the Green Wave and the Rebels. Both teams undefeated, and a lot at stake for different reasons for both these squads. The Rebels won the opening coin toss and have elected to receive the football first. So we'll get a look at Trinidad Chambliss in just a moment, leading the offense. Isaiah Hartrup back deep for the Rebels. And the team's still looking to break some big plays in the kick return game. And we're underway. It'll come out first down and 10 from their own 25-yard line with Trinidad Chambliss. And for more, let's go down to Q.
Yeah, he will make his second consecutive start. This is a transfer from D2 Ferris State that led that team to a national championship last week against Arkansas. His feet, his mobility, very much a factor in that game. He loves to roll out. You'll see some nakeds. You'll see some boots. He likes the in-cutting routes, Mark, and he likes the double moves on the outside. This guy's got juice. He's a gamer and comes to life on game day.
Looked extremely confident last week in that victory against Arkansas. Threw for over 350 yards in all. First and 10 from the 25 for the Rebels. They're going to keep it on the ground with Lacey. Juan Lacey out to the 33-yard line. He has been a big star and a nice find for them. The transfer from Mizzou. John Sumrall, the second-year head coach for the Green Wave, really feels like his team has a great opportunity today.
They absolutely do. On the road at Ole Miss against a quarterback in Trinidad Chambliss, who's just making his second start at this level. Can you get him rattled, though, is the question.
Chambliss looking to pass, fires a dart complete, and out to the 46-yard line is Caden Lee. Lee, the junior from Kennesaw, Georgia, picks up 13 on the play.
It's just a nice route by Caden Lee. As Lane Kiffin, his offense has really been rolling this year, no matter who the quarterback's been.
Chambliss again complete, this time near midfield. That's Harrison Wallace III, a.k.a. Trey, picks up 5. Roddy, we can expect to see them play with tempo offensively, correct?
Yeah, Lane Kiffin has always, since his days going back to Alabama, used tempo. Even before that, used tempo as an advantage. This Ole Miss team offense is one of the fastest tempo teams in the entire country.
Lee in motion. Chambliss goes through his progression, hits Lacey out of the backfield, and a nice open field tackle by Javion White. Folks, you get a chance to actually hear his voice a little bit later. We had him mic'd in pregame.
Ton of time for Trinidad Chambliss in the pocket. Look how patient he is, looking left, right, and then eventually gets to the check down. A good open field tackle, though. Tulane, not a great tackling team. That a good one.
Bouncing it to the outside this time. Nice run by Chambliss. Keeps it himself. Chambliss all the way inside the 10. Wonderful handiwork and prestidigitation by the quarterback.
And Ole Miss, Tulane lost contain on the outside. Had two defensive backs there trying to contain Trinidad Chambliss. Neither one was able to in a big game.
Lacey in the backfield, gets it between the tackles, stopped up by Santana Hopper right near the line of scrimmage. It'll be second and goal. But a big chunky yardage on that previous play by Chambliss. 41 in all.
Look at the end of the line of scrimmage. You got Javion White here and Bailey Despaney behind him. Both of those guys have an opportunity to keep Trinidad Chambliss, but when Deshaun Tribling collisions Javion White, he just gets caught up in the block. Chambliss's athleticism gets outside and gets him down inside the 10-yard line. And this is what Ole Miss does that gets overlooked. Their ability to block on the perimeter. At the point of attack, you had a receiver in Stribling throwing a block. Downfield, Harrison Wallace throws a block. This is one of the best blocking skill position teams from a skill position standpoint in the entire country.
Well, Sam Howard, the injured player on the field, Roddy. 6'2" senior from Birmingham, Alabama. One of their top linebackers. And good to see him be able to walk off the field under his own power and agency. 12:38 to go, just underway. The big pivotal play so far, that run by Trinidad Chambliss. Q told you about his story a little bit earlier. Played several years at D2 Ferris State in Western Michigan. It wasn't his football tape that popped with Ferris State and the football program there initially. It was his basketball highlights. And the football coach there likes to recruit players that have a multitude of different skill sets.
He certainly has them, not just football, basketball, but on the football field. He's already shown the ability to throw it and the incredible athleticism running.
That was a career-long run of 41. Second and goal. Chambliss pulls it out of the gut, wide open, and he overcooked the pass intended for Daquan Wright. The transfer from Virginia Tech. Boy, they had an opportunity there, Roddy.
Yes, they did. And Daquan Wright is wide open in the end zone. You just got to put it in the end zone. Like, you just keep it in the grass, and it's a touchdown. Trinidad Chambliss going to want that one back.
Sets up a 3rd down and goal. Wallace in motion. He looks into the end zone. Touchdown! Daquan Wright came right back to him and found atonement. An impressive opening drive by the Rebels. And for Wright, his 2nd touchdown catch of the season.
Yeah, let's see if he caught this thing. I mean, it looked fairly clean from the first look we got. Absolute snag by Daquan Wright. I'm sure they're looking at it upstairs to make sure that it is indeed a touchdown. Let's see if they stop it to take another look, but based on what we saw initially, it didn't look like it hit the ground.
Right.
You're right, though. What a drive by Ole Miss.
They march down the field, a decisive throw. Let's see. This view should be better.
Question is that left hand stay under the ball? It certainly moves from when he first contacts it with his hands. But do you have a look that shows hitting the ground? Remember, the call on the field was a catch for a touchdown. I think that left hand is under. Yeah, it's been blown. They're going to let him kick the extra point.
I would agree with you, Roddy. It looks like his left arm was underneath the football, and they're going to kick the extra point. In about 2.5 minutes, the Rebels march down the field, 8 plays, 75 yards, using up 2:37 on the clock, and they lead 7-0. What does that do to the mentality of Tulane to just put them on their heels immediately as we take one more look at that touchdown catch?
Yeah, watch the left arm of Daquan Wright, that he goes and snags it, and then that left arm stays between the ball and the ground. Touchdown, good. But to answer your question, Mark, this Ole Miss team is so good at putting pressure on you, on the opposing team's offense. They are so good, especially on opening drives when they're on script, at getting ahead. And you know, coaches know it too. With a Lane Kiffin offense on the other side, you can't miss too many turns for your offense to go down and score points. It changes the way coaches operate on 4th down. It changes the way coaches think about time management. And getting up 7-0 certainly puts that pressure on the opposing team.
Ole Miss coming off a 10-3 season last year. From 2 yards deep, Anthony Brown-Stevens on the return for the Green Wave, and he takes it out to the 21-yard line. I tell you what, these Rebels are flying charter right now, Roddy. Oh, he smoked the dunk. There you go.
I think when you do it on the side, I give him a 7 on the execution.
Yeah.
Because you got a 0 the first time. I'll give him a 10 and say, because you made it the second time, we'll weight that 10 a little heavier. So that 10 makes, gets you to a 7.
Hey, man, there's a reason why Daquan is on the football field with shoulder pads.
It's hard to go between the legs and pads.
True. Let's take a look now at Jake Retzlaff, the BYU transfer who ran for 4 touchdowns last week in that impressive win against Duke. Brendan Sullivan, QB1, was injured a couple of weeks ago, and Retzlaff taking over. And he's been very impressive. Short set by the tailback, Mobley, and he picks up about 5. Let's go to Q for more on Retzlaff.
Jonesy, Jake is a 22-year-old redshirt senior from California who was a little bit overlooked as a high school product with COVID. Ended up going to JUCO, where he was recruited by Troy, then Troy head coach John Sumrall. And they made a connection back there at the last second, kind of pulled the string on Sumrall, ends up going to BYU. 11-2 as a starter last year at BYU. So when his ability to move happened this summer, that existing relationship with Summerall was a safe landing spot in New Orleans.
A great point, Q. And hey, sometimes being number two in the recruiting game isn't a bad thing. That pass incomplete, tipped by Eccles. Yeah, if you finish second in recruiting nowadays, it's not bad, Roddy, because sometimes, you know, things come full circle.
We've heard it from multiple coaching staffs this year. As you see the hit on Jake Retzloff, multiple coaching staffs have told us, hey, you got to have those relationships. So guys like Jake Retzloff, if something happens, you can be there and have that relationship. This is a big third down. Jake Retzloff rushed for 111 yards last week against Duke. This Ole Miss defense allowed 115 yards to Taylor Green. They have to keep Retzloff in the pocket.
Threatens to run and does. Retzloff slides safely for the first down. Let's see where they mark it. Right around the 34, 35 yard line as we take a look at today's impact players. Brought to you by Chili's.
Well, you're going to need somebody other than Jake Retzloff to be able to run the ball. Zuberi Mobley is the lead rusher for this team outside of Jake Retzloff. He's going to be big today. And then on the defensive side, TJ Daugherty had the big strip to end the game a week ago against Arkansas. This Ole Miss defense had a lot of trouble with communication, some trouble with tackling a week ago, and not containing the quarterback. Now 2 quarterbacks in the game for Tulane.
Yeah, Retzloff in motion. Sullivan completes the pass to the edge. That's Shaz Preston. Jaden Yates making the tackle on the play. There's a look at Sullivan, who just completed the pass. Last week was 2 for 2. Brendan Sullivan, a 6'4", fifth-year senior.
And we were told by the Tulane coaches that had Brendan Sullivan not gotten hurt in camp, he likely would have been the starter week 1 against Northwestern. He's one of their best athletes coming over from Iowa. So they wanted to get him touches to get him into the flow of the game.
First down from the 37. Retzloff has time. Not sure what happened there, but it was a bounce pass incomplete. Didn't appear as if anybody hit his arm as he was throwing. Intended for Hayes.
I think Jake Retzloff saw a wall of navy blue in front of him.
Wow.
Just tried to throw this one away. Just trying to get it away from Eccles, the defensive tackle, who was kind of in the throwing lane. Just kind of threw it into the ground wisely. Now with 3rd and 7. Again, the last third down, they had everybody covered down the field, but Jake Retzloff was able to escape with his legs.
Keep an eye on Centurion Perkins, one of the Rebels' most dynamic players defensively. Retzloff, incomplete, knocked away. Good defense on the play by Chris Graves Jr., the corner. And that sets up 4th down and long. The Green Wave will punt it away.
They actually did a nice job of picking up the blitz, but good coverage on the outside. Chris Graves collisions Omari Hayes, and the contact was too much for the wide receiver to be able to come up with it. Good stop by Ole Miss, keeping Retzloff in the pocket, making him beat him with his arm.
Keep an eye on Xavier Harris. He's blocked a bunch of kicks for the Rebels over the years, and they're going to run this back.
Before the snap, false start, 14 offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down. Please reset the game clock to 10 minutes.
So Clark will do it again. Mark, both of these teams have had issues with penalties this year. Tulane, 116th in the country in number of penalties through 3 games, 24. That's their 25th penalty on the season.
This time, Alec Clark will be perched on his own 17-yard line, averaging about 47 yards per punt on the season. Rebels setting up a return from the 22-yard line. It'll be Wallace's the 3rd, and he's brought down pretty much immediately at the 25-yard line. 46 yards on the punt. Good coverage. Chambliss led them to a touchdown last time. Let's see what he does on this opportunity.
Parents' weekend in Oxford, where everybody's wearing their finest Saturday red, and this is 30 minutes before game time. You see Tulane, the only team on the field, warming up. It's hot here. It's 89 degrees. It feels like 96. Ole Miss choosing to warm up in their indoor facility, which is adjacent to the stadium, which is legal because this is a non-conference game. Mark, if this was an SEC game, they are mandated to warm up opposite the other team in a certain time window. So Lane Kiffin staying cool in the indoor.
Hey, Q, home field advantage.
No kidding.
Why not? You're at the crib, take advantage of it. Chambliss brought down at about the 27-yard line. Nice tackle by Sam Howard. Picked up 2 yards, though. Trinidad Chambliss making his second FBS football start. Last week had moments of brilliance in throwing for 353 yards. 1 touchdown as well. Coming around the edge. Out to the 37-yard line. Got a good block out front from Stribling, his wide end. 10-yard pickup.
The Tulane coaches were telling us this is like a morning practice in New Orleans because there's no humidity. As Q and I were sweating through our shirts on the sideline, they felt very comfortable with the temperature and the heat.
Chambliss, clean pocket, delivers a bullet complete. What a strike to Stribling. Through a rope, and you know, last week Stribling got his first touchdown against Arkansas. Gained 6 yards on that play.
And the ball goes out of bounds, and the iron cross is thrown by the referee, allowing the defensive substitutions. Tulane probably, I didn't get a chance to count, but it was probably 7 or 8 guys.
It was a lot.
It was a whole line change, almost the whole defense on and off the field.
Chambliss 5 of 6 so far. Green Wave coaching staff talked about keeping their players hydrated and fresh. Chambliss again, now 6 of 7 passing the football. Down to the 44-yard line is Winston Watkins, moving the chains again. Pickup of 13 on the play.
Trinidad Chambliss has been so confident on these RPOs, delivering accurately to his receivers, short with opportunities to run down the field. This Ole Miss offense looks like it's rolling right now.
On 1st and 10, the give is to Lacey. And Lacey's going to be stopped up at about the 42-yard line. Picked up 3 on the play. Santana Hopper with the stop. And we have an injured player down in the field. Try and figure out who it is here. Looks like Dixon Agu. Starting linebacker. We're going to take a short break and come right back.
ESPN College Football is presented by Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat.
The Grove is like nothing else. It's just everything at Ole Miss gets taken up a notch.
Look at the spreads of some of these tents. I mean, you have beautiful bouquets of flowers, you have food catered, you have chandeliers.
I just feel like it's just homey, and I love everything about it.
Whether you're an Ole Miss fan or today a Tulane fan, you come to this place and you kind of go, I get it.
The Grove is geographically elite in that it's walking distance from the stadium, but you go there, the sense of family, the sense of community, seeing old friends, making new friends, everybody's so friendly today. Just an amazing scene, a wonderfully warm scene, Mark.
Did you get any food, Q?
Yeah.
The post game, I was told, I was invited to a couple tents.
All right, I'll be with you.
Hey,
I'll be with you.
Get on that HBO program, man. Help a brother out, Q. Bring us a plate. And it looks like that offense is still eating Ewan Lacey right between the tackles. Look at those numbers at home under Lane Kiffin. They won 29 of the last 32 here in Oxford at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. 10-yard pickup that time by Lacey. Missouri transfer has been a great revelation. Here he is again. Puts his hat down and powers forward to the 25. Chris Rogers making the tackle on the play for Tulane. A 6-yard gain. And up at the line of scrimmage quickly.
Kewan Lacey has been phenomenal. One of the best backs in the country at making people miss and breaking tackles with power and agility out wide.
Pass complete and a good open field tackle that time by Javion White. Man, he has been omnipresent all season for the Green Wave. A 2-yard loss on the play. Lacey got brought down.
You mentioned the open field tackling. Again, this was a big thing that Tulane struggled with a week ago against Duke. Much better there, closing the distance and getting the running back down before he had a chance to make a move.
Interesting 3rd and 6 here from the 28. Predetermined quarterback run, and Trinidad Chambliss will pick up the first down. Had a good block in front of him for that 7-yard gain.
It's a really interesting way to run counter. You get a blocker here, and then Daquan Wright also gets behind the block. It's a really creative way to get 2 blockers in front of a quarterback on a designed quarterback run on a 3rd and medium to get a first down.
From the 21. Diggs in the ball game, and
False start. Offense number 22. 5-yard penalty. First down.
that would be Logan Diggs, who just came into the ball game for Lacey. Diggs, running back number 2, transfer from LSU. Take another look here.
Just a little lean, little flinch in the backfield. Got to hold your water as a running back.
Just a little flinch. Sets up 1st and 15. Lacey back in. Over the middle, wide open. It's right. And brought down just shy of the 10-yard line. It'll be first down again on the 13-yard gain.
It's the 2nd time they've had Daquan Wright wide open after a play action.
On the handoff. Lacey, helicopter ball came out, and they're going to say the Green Wave recovered it. Agu recovered the loose football after the Lacey fumble. One of the officials gave an indication that it would be Tulane ball.
First down.
Oh, they're going to say he was down.
Yeah, clearly has possession of the ball. Forearm hits the ground. He's definitely down. But one of the things we were told by Ole Miss's coaching staff is Tulane is a low tackling team. It's been on display.
Lacey trying to bounce it outside, but brought down.
They got Tulane trying to get a guy off the field. Yeah, the tempo.
Count them up for me, partner.
Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And at the snap,
that's a CFL defense.
You had Santana Hopper trying to get off the field. Yeah, unfortunately, we are well south of whatever that longitudinal line is that separates us from Canada.
I think it's the 41st.
Is it?
Don't hold me to it. 4.5 minutes to go. Some of the Green Wave players breathing heavily already. Ronnie, you said it a moment ago during commercial break. This defense has been on the field a long time. Early in this football game. Under 4 minutes, 4.5 to go. Trinidad Chambliss keeps it himself and makes it inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Pickup of 1 on the play. Chambliss didn't arrive on campus here at Oxford until May, but it has been a quick assimilation to the program and the playbook.
Yeah, look at the time that's ticking off the clock. Current drive for Ole Miss nearing 6 minutes with tempo. This defense has been on its heels.
Wallace in motion. Chambliss looking into the end zone, might do it himself. Tries and pushed out of bounds at about the 5. The Green Wave defense staying home that time, Roddy. They got the stop.
Did a nice job of coverage down the field and making sure that no Tulane defensive backs lost touch with an Ole Miss receiver. This feels like a massive third down early in this game.
What does the score do for the defense?
I think if they're able to stop Ole Miss, then it gives you some hope on offense. You go down 2 scores against an offense that really hasn't been stopped so far. It's going to be a tough assignment for Tulane offensively.
3rd and goal for Chambliss. Out of the shotgun, pulls, knocked down, incomplete at the line of scrimmage. So good high hands by that defensive front. Calpine, Hopper, Dyson, Hamilton, all doing a nice job on that sequence.
Hamilton right in the middle of your screen, 6'4", gets the big paw up in the air, knocks it down. And again, big win for Tulane's defense.
Lucas Carnero in to attempt this field goal, 7 of 8 on the season. This one coming from 22 yards out from the right hash. Light work. And the Rebels lead 10-0 with 3:13 to go here in the first quarter. That looks like a coach that seems to be thinking that one got away. Back after this. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. Ohio State and Penn State 1 and 2 respectively idle this week. What jumps off the page at you?
Illinois at Indiana. Okay. You look at both of those two schedules, and there's not a lot more. I mean, each of them have a big game later on, but this is what's been called sort of a college football playoff entrance exam. Winner of that game will certainly have the inside track to be the Indiana of this year. Maybe Indiana will be the Indiana.
Okay. I like that. I see what you did there. I'm not used to seeing Oregon against Oregon State in the middle of September. That's a little different.
Well, get used to not seeing it at all, because that game isn't scheduled for the future. But you look at what Jake Retzloff has done so far today. It's been tough sledding through the air. This Ole Miss team has got to feel good. If you can keep Jake Retzloff in the pocket, doesn't seem like through one drive that they're afraid of these Tulane receivers. So expect them to devote a lot of numbers to stopping the run and making Jake Retzloff do it with his arm.
Retzloff passing the ball so far this year is completing about 60% of his passes. Has 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, but coaches telling him to be purposeful about taking care of the football. So he hands it off on this play. Over the right side of the offensive line is Arnold Barnes, brought down by Eccles. Gain of 3 on the play for the Green Wave. Second down and 7 coming up.
This Ole Miss defensive line is not as explosive or talented on the top end as it was a year ago. They've still got some good players, particularly on the inside. Xavier Harris and Will Eccles are a load to deal with at 320 and 310 pounds for any offensive line, especially Tulane.
They lost a bunch of guys to the league. Another run to the right side. That's Barnes. Arnold Barnes picks up a few, and he's just a little bit short of the first down. Got 6 on that play. There's a look at Harris. Talking about him a moment ago. 3rd down and short coming up.
And this is big, obviously, for Tulane offensively, but defensively, you got to give this team some rest. They've been on the field a ton in the first quarter. Converting here would make this a lot better for this Tulane defense to get a blow.
Tulane hasn't run that many plays, just 8. This is their 9th. And they're going to get the first down on the surge up front by that offensive line. Retzloff keeps it himself.
Job by the offensive line. Also good by Justin Reed, who gets right behind Jake Retzloff. A little tush push action.
Yes.
It's a hot button topic in the NFL. Tulane going for making it a hot button topic in college as well. Good surge though by that offensive line. I'm not sure he needed the push.
Out to the 37-yard line. 2 receivers out to the top of your screen. As Kuzi in motion now sets. They run it to the field. This is Mobley. And he's brought down after a decent gain by Cam Franklin. Picked up 7 on the play. Mobley, one of their more explosive backs. Really twitchy. Coaches characterize him as a violent runner out of Miami, Florida. Went to famed Northwestern High School at South Florida powerhouse. Javin Gordon in the ball game now. 2nd and 4 for the Green Wave. Retzloff has plenty of time and throws it away. Javin Gordon was the nearest receiver. But a bunch of defenders in his face, including T.J. Daugherty.
I kind of thought Jake Retzloff, had he decided to run it a little bit sooner, had some room around that right side, but nonetheless throws it away.
Do quarterbacks get so intent on proving they can throw sometimes that they negate their strength, which is running?
I think what was happening there was he was waiting to see if a receiver was going to come open. And by the time he saw that it wasn't, it was too late. It was going to be a foot race to the sideline, so he did the safe thing. But had he made the decision earlier, I thought he could have gotten the first down. This is a big 3rd down.
Bunch set out to the top of your screen. Retzloff finds his man, complete. Ball knocked loose, came out on the 2nd hit. It's loose. And the Rebels have it. Lewis Jr. got hit by Sage Ryan. And it came out. Boy, a thunderous hit here.
Yeah, there's going to be a question of did he have it long enough to be considered a catch and a fumble. based on these slow-mos, I would say probably. It's close, though. You have to have time to have made a move common to the game, a football move. They actually now call it incomplete, it looks like, because Ole Miss has the punt return team on the field, Tulane the punt team on the field.
Here's one more look at it. So the ruling is incomplete.
And the way it comes out, I mean, it looks like that ball is probably moving as well, so I don't know if he had firm control. I think a good call.
Clark with the punt, nose of the football down. An end-over-end effort down to the 10-yard line. And Wallace the third, their most dangerous receiver. Returns it a few yards as we kick off your Week 3 NFL Sunday with the Countdown crew. They'll have you covered with most of the important stories, injury updates, and a lot more leading up to kickoff. Then on Monday night, we have the Detroit Lions visiting the Baltimore Ravens. Kickoff 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. All ESPN, all in one place. Can't stop saying that.
No, you can't. And on days like today, I mean, you need that new ESPN app.
Week 3 in college football. Check that Week 4. Already. Ole Miss looking to stay perfect. Chambliss finds his target at the 45. Complete. That's Deuce Alexander out near midfield. And Alexander, certainly the fastest receiver of that swift group, picks up 20.
And he just toasts the defensive back on the line of scrimmage.
That's a talented wide receiver.
Very talented. Very talented.
And Trinidad Chambliss stays red hot throwing the football. We got a timeout on the field. We'll be right back after we pay some bills. Getting ready for the second quarter. Let's go down to Q for more.
Coach, how would you assess Trinidad's play thus far?
I think it's been really good. You know, we got stopped in the red zone there. That wasn't his fault, and so it's 10-0. I'm really happy about our defensive performance after last week. So but we got a long ways to go. We need to go score here and make it 17.
Take me through that last play. Showed some nice touch on a pass over the middle.
Yeah, we tried to run a play to Deuce to get him involved there, and really they covered it pretty well. Stayed man on the backside of cover 3, but made a good throw.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, see ya.
And back for the start of the second quarter. Rebels with the football near midfield. Watkins in motion. And Chambliss keeps it himself. Runs it into the boundary. Picked up about 6 on the play.
What's that restaurant that says have it your way? It really feels like that's what's going on with Ole Miss offensively. Running the ball with Kewan Lacey. They've had success. Trinidad Chambliss' legs and his arm.
Toss to the wide side of the field. Deuce Alexander with the straight arm. Somebody down there got Derrick Henry, Javion White.
I mean, you got Derrick Henry by a guy that weighs 180 pounds. Deuce Alexander slamming a defender to the ground, showing that receivers can do it too.
How about that? 5-yard gain on the play. First down and 10 from the 39. The Rebels have dominated the early time of possession. Chambliss gets rid of it quickly. Out of the backfield is Lacey, and Lacey brought down almost immediately by Agu. Ole Miss has really established a great sense of chemistry, despite the fact that only 2 starters returned for Lane Kiffin on each side of the football.
Including a few first-round picks. They do a really nice job in the portal, finding guys that fit their system.
A direct snap to the quarterback Chambliss, who takes it himself. Check that. That was Lacey.
I wonder if that snap was supposed to go to Kewan Lacey. It looked like Trinidad Chambliss expected it to come to him, but it was about a yard to the right, so Lacey just takes it and runs the football.
You think Bryson Sanders might have missed a little bit, huh?
Maybe a little bit off there.
Logan Diggs now in a tailback. 3rd down and 7. They've got to get to the 29. And a chance for this Green Wave defense to get off the field. Chambliss incomplete, and they will get off the field. They get the stop. Jaheim Johnson came in to break up that pass. It's intended for Deuce Alexander, who's been targeted a lot here in the last several plays.
It's a really nice break by Jaheim Johnson, knowing the situation. It's a slant route by Deuce Alexander. He breaks on the football, gets there right as the ball gets there, let's say, and forces the long field goal.
Lucas Carnero coming in the football game to attempt this field goal from 54. He's got that kind of leg, gave it a ride, and got it. He's now 8 of 9 on the season. Rebels taking a 13-0 advantage. Difficult task when you talk about trying to replace this kind of elite talent, Roddy.
No doubt, a first-round quarterback in Jackson Dart, Trey Harris, Walter Nolan, Trey Amos. So you bring in Trinidad Chambliss. Austin Simmons elevates to the starter preseason. He gets hurt. You've got Chambliss from Ferris State. Deuce Alexander comes over from Wake Forest. Harrison Wallace, who was kind of an afterthought last year at Penn State, has found new life here for this Rebels offense.
He seemed to have a lot of bounce in his step.
Boy, did
in meeting with him.
Yes, he did. He was excited to be down here where they throw it around a little bit, give him some opportunities. And I think he sort of heard the narrative last year, oh, Penn State doesn't have any receivers. Well, 2 years in a row, a Penn State receiver has left, come to the SEC, and found success with Keandre Lambert-Smith doing it at Auburn a year ago.
Yeah, Wallace III was arguably the best wideout in the portal last year. It'll come out 1st and 10 from the 25 for Tulane. So far, they have not scored. Let's check in with Matt Berry in the studio. Yeah. All right, Matt. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 for the Green Wave. They've got 2 quarterbacks on the field again, Roddy. Sullivan and the starter, Retzloff.
Brendan Sullivan, the backup quarterback, down here to the bottom in that trips bunch formation. I expect some sort of motion to get him closer to the ball and maybe some trickeration.
There's the motion. They fake the reverse, and on the keep, David Gordon with a nice gain and a 1st down of 11 yards.
It's a really nicely designed play. You have a shift pre-snap to create that bunch formation closer to the box, that tight bunch, and then you get a tight end going across the formation, looking like he's going to go out and block for a reverse coming behind you with Brendan Sullivan, all to run a very basic inside zone play to the side that they ran it to in a big hole.
Green Wave have only had the ball for about 6 minutes. Retzloff kept it himself, picked up about 2 on the play. Perkins making the stop. And Terrian Perkins, All-American candidate, 6'2", 220 pounds, out of Raleigh, Mississippi.
I think Jake Retzloff may have missed the read on that one. Terrian Perkins was really just sitting, staring at Retzloff. And that was one of the big focuses for Pete Golding. His defensive ends or the read, whoever the read is on that quarterback read, being set and making sure that if you have a quarterback give read, you are giving that read and being able to get back on the quarterback.
They keep it on the ground again to Gordon. Picks up a couple of yards. Got about 4 actually on the play. And sets up a 3rd down once again for the Green Wave, and trying to hang on to the football. You can't fall behind too much against the Rebels.
And even though their defense has settled in a little bit, I still think this is 4-down territory if you're able to get to a 4th and short because of the pressure Ole Miss has been putting on you offensively and the amount of time that your defense has been on the field so far.
Retzloff escapes the rush, got a blocker in front of him, has a little bit of room, got the 1st down. Retzloff still up on his feet inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. That's the type of prolific running which has been a bonus for the team.
Well, both of the 2 edge guys basically meet at the quarterback, but Retzloff does a phenomenal job of stepping up in the pocket, securing the ball, and then there's nobody there because it's man-to-man coverage on the back end. And the Tulane quarterback just navigates past defenders to create a big chunk play on 3rd down.
Young man who only had 38 days to learn the playbook at Tulane was occupied by trying to graduate, taking 4 classes to become eligible as well. At 30 yards on that last play, they keep it on the ground down to the 27-yard line. Arnold Barnes III brought down by Cam Franklin. 4-yard gain.
We just flashed up that stat. I mean, the thing that you can't do is allow the 4 rushes for 43 yards because this part of the graphic has shown how much of a struggle it has been for Tulane throwing the football. But Retzloff making magic for the Green Wave with his legs.
2nd down and 6. Hayes in motion at the top of your screen. They'll run it again. This is Barnes. And Barnes, with interminable energy, keeps those legs plowing. Picked up right around 5 yards. Going to end up a little bit short of that 1st down. 3rd down and 1. They've been able to convert a couple times on this drive. Let's go down to Q.
Tulane's offensive line starting to lean on Ole Miss. Joe Craddock, their offensive coordinator, said, watch our double teams. We're giving up some size, but watch our double teams. Of note, Derek Graham, their left tackle, not playing today. He's in a boot in shorts. Shadre Hurst bumps out to left tackle. Elijah Baker playing left guard.
There's a lot of meat up the middle for Ole Miss, but you're right, Q, this offensive line getting a surge again on 3rd down. The coaches talked to us this week about the importance of getting those double teams for the offensive line because Xavier Harris goes 330, Will Eccles goes 310. But as Tulane has been able to stay on the field more, the effort of those big guys starts to wane because they get tired, and that offensive line can start to take over.
Lane Kiffin told Quint a moment ago during the quarter break that he was happy with his defense so far, but right now that offensive line starting to win. Let's look at the offensive coordinator for the Green Wave. That's about a 3-yard gain this time from Javon Gordon, stopped by Daugherty. Daugherty was the one that had the big play last week against Arkansas, forced that critical fumble late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you see the Ole Miss numbers defensively against the run. Last week, a lot of it was Taylon Green, the Arkansas quarterback, who is special running the football. But we're seeing here Tulane having success against that defense.
And eating up a little bit of clock. Incomplete for Omari Hayes. The process was good. The execution didn't quite make it.
Yeah, Jake Retzloff decides to go sidearm to try and get the ball out quick, but just enough off-target throw. Honestly, it looked like Ole Miss kind of had it measured anyway.
Now 0 for 6, Retzloff. 3rd and 7.
I wonder if you're Tulane, you just go quarterback draw here.
Play clock at 5 and a little motion up front on that offensive line. Elijah Baker.
False start. 76 and 53. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You kind of mixed up the numbers. It's 56 and 73. You mentioned, and Q just talked about Shadre Hurst going out to left tackle. That puts Elijah Baker in at left guard. And the noise of this stadium causes the false start.
Retzloff still looking to complete his first pass. He's going to do it himself and come up short of the first down at about the 15-yard line. Perkins in pursuit.
Well, they do a really nice job of Suntaran Perkins right there in the middle, number 4. He's got his eyes on the quarterback, Jake Retzloff, and just mirrors him. And even though he doesn't get him at the line of scrimmage, the defensive end has the speed to track Jake Retzloff down.
That's not fair.
No, it's not. It's what they couldn't do with Taylon Green, because Taylon Green was able to get around the corner a week ago, but nice job by Perkins.
Durkin for the field goal from 34. And he remains perfect on the season. Now 8 of 8. And with 6:40 to go in the first half, the Green Wave finally on the board. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Oxford, Mississippi. This is the SEC on ESPN. On a humid, hot afternoon. Look at my man down there, just chilling.
Is that Juice Kiffin?
That Juice?
Lane's dog? He's one of.
Is it a collie? That's not a collie. That's
got quite the social media presence. Juice.
Retriever?
He's lab. Yeah, I think so.
I'm a Dobie guy. It is his.
Yeah, it was Juice.
Yeah, that was Juice.
He's got a drink
right now
after him at our hotel.
Rebels got the juice and the football. Hartrup on the kickoff return. Let's check in with the studio.
Ooh, brother.
Wow.
Trinidad Cham was putting up numbers like Syracuse's offense against Clemson.
Wow.
What a turn of events there in the upstate of South Carolina, where they are staring down 2 ACC losses and being 1-3 on the season.
Getting dragged right now by Syracuse. Chambliss caught, complete at midfield. Stribling, still on his feet. Ran over a defender all the way inside the 20. The ball was tipped by Goo, but not enough carom on it for Stribling not to make the catch.
It's both lucky, good, and lucky. I mean, the fact that the tip goes straight to him, but Stribling was wide open.
53 yards in all. Chambliss going to keep it himself down to the 15-yard line. Tackled by Sam Howard, one of the leading voices from that Tulane defense, and they need his and a lot more right now. Down 10 points, and this Rebel offense already threatening again. Alexander in motion, takes it on the reverse, couldn't get to the edge, escapes somehow, and pushed out of bounds at about the 10. Sam Howard with the missed tackle. 7-yard gain.
Not the key play. It's Trinidad Chambliss with that long run on the first drive, bouncing it outside, 41 yards to get down the field. He has been in sync. I mean, throwing the football. That ball that he just threw to Stribling got tipped, but that's the kind of day it's been for him. Seems like everything that he's put in the air has been working. Tulane's been able to come up with some third down stops.
Chambliss keeps it. Check that direct snap to Lacey that time. And he picks up the first down. After Chambliss's prolific week last week, 353 yards passing, a couple of rushing touchdowns. He was awarded the Manning Award Star of the Week. First and goal. Chambliss keeps it. What a move. Oh, he hit him with the sauce and makes it down to the 1-yard line. He took some ankles down on the field, a 5-yard gain. They'll set up second down and goal.
Santana Hopper did a nice job of getting in the backfield. Thought he did something, and as you said, got the sauce.
Direct snap that time to Lacey, and he gets the touchdown. The transfer from Mizzou with his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. 6 of his career. Didn't get a lot of playing time last year at Missouri. Got in the portal, transferred here to Oxford. And having a lot of success early in the season here now in game 4. The team's leading rusher. And an extra point away from making it a 17-point lead with 4:09 to go in the first half. Look at this move.
You get in the backfield, Trinidad Chambliss hits him with the sauce, but what's the sauce without the steak? Kewan Lacey plunging in the end zone to go up 20-3.
Everybody eats.
ESPN College Football, presented by Chili's, is brought to you by Allstate and the Allstate AFCA Good Works team, recognizing the athlete for their good work off the field. Visit ESPN.com/Allstate to learn more.
Look at the square, Oxford's historic downtown district, featuring some of the city's best shops and restaurants. Nielsen's department store right there claims to be the South's oldest store, offering apparel, shoes, gifts, and accessories with Southern charm. I just need a little bit of shrimp and grits and then some Mississippi mud pie.
I tell you what,
I got my workout in today, Roddy. So
there was some
I earned it.
There was some fried catfish that showed up in the lobby of our hotel yesterday, and let me tell you, I don't know where our crew got it from, but that's where I'm going tonight.
Yeah, you talk about hotter than fish grease. Right now, that Rebel offense is just it. Right now, a word from Cheez-It.
Okay, Cheese, 50-yarder for the win.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Ice the kicker.
Something better. Terry.
Did you just get hired?
Dude entered the portal and came out a legend. Want it, need it, cheese it.
Back to the action, 1st and 10 for Jake Retzloff. What do you make of the fact that he hasn't completed a pass, Roddy, although he's run the ball for 46 yards?
He's created explosive plays with his legs, but Ole Miss has really smothered this receiving core from Tulane, which allows them to really have everybody else focused on stopping the run and the quarterback in particular.
Retzloff going to hand it off this time. This is Barnes. Barnes picks up about 3 yards on the play. Perkins in on the tackle. 2nd down and 7. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Both these teams looking to improve to 4-0. And for Retzloff and the Green Wave, a win today by Memphis was interesting.
Yes, it was.
When you look at the group of 5 teams and the candidates there. Lewis Jr. in motion. They keep it on the ground with Barnes. Got around the left side. He popped clutch and got close to the first down. Talked about the group of 5 and teams already with some early jostling. I talked about popping clutch. You got to draft a little bit, Roddy, first, early in the season?
Get in the slipstream.
Okay.
Let some others bring you along. But the feeling is right now that the representative from the group of 5 for the college ball playoff is going to come out of the American. South Florida with a couple of wins that were impressive early on. Tulane looking for one, but Memphis getting one.
Taking a shot down deep on the post and incomplete. That was intended for Jimmy Callaway. Yeah, and it was interesting. Our graphic had the Boise State car out in front, but what do you make of that? I'm not so sure about that right now, the way they've started.
Boise State's going to have an opportunity to claw back into this thing, but obviously losing to South Florida gives the American a head-to-head. But check out some of these wins early on. Tulane, this Tulane team beat Duke, beat Northwestern week 1. Army going to the Little Apple and beating Kansas State after losing to Tarleton State the week before.
Went downfield on a forward pass. The penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Legal man downfield was the call. 2nd down and 10. Retzloff 0 for 7 passing. Three receivers out to the bottom of your screen. Retzloff tried to run behind Mobley, and Perkins in on another tackle for the Rebels. He and Eccles. Hey, let's go back to the group of 5. Who do you think is the preeminent team?
It's a really good question. You know, I like this Tulane team with Jake Retzloff. Got to go watch that Memphis-Arkansas game more closely, but it's an Arkansas team that I was really impressed with a week ago against Ole Miss, albeit in a loss. Their ability to go beat them. So I'm sort of not answering the question. I'll go with Tulane because their fans are watching right now, but I reserve the right to change my answer.
Saved yourself. I love that. Artful. 3rd and 9. Retzloff looking for his first completion. Under duress. Buying time. Hit as he released it. And out of bounds. Incomplete. He had plenty of time, but good coverage in the secondary. Uman Mayelan there in pursuit. With 2 minutes to go, we've hit the timeout with 4th and 9 coming up for the Green Wave when we come back to Oxford. All right, Matt, Alec Clark punting. Rebels get the football back again here. Good downfield coverage. Wallace the third eluded a couple of tacklers. Picked up a few yards on the punt return with 1:50 to go in the first half. 1st and 10 for the Rebels when we return. Welcome back to ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. Coming up at 7:30 Eastern Time over on ABC, folks. Number 4 Miami. The Hurricanes, crew from Coral Gables, Florida, host the Florida Gators at Hard Rock Stadium in Carroll City, Florida. What a game that's going to be.
Miami Hurricanes offense is so good and efficient, better than it was last year. Carson Beck has done a phenomenal job, as has the offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson. The lines of scrimmage are what's most impressive about the Hurricanes.
Sounds like you like Miami in that
I
game.
do, and not by a little bit.
Rebels with a football, taking a shot downfield. Got him at the 40. Wallace, the third, dropped it. Wow.
Well, it's just a little stutter go, and Harrison Wallace hits him right on the shoulder pads. Trey Wallace left without getting the goods. Trinidad Chambliss knows they missed one. They had the perfect play drawn up for a shot. Should have been a touchdown.
Instead, it's 2nd and 10. Chambliss escapes, elusive, slides in safely for the first down. And they're going quick once again with 1:35 to go in the first half. An opportunity to get some points. 10-yard run by Chambliss.
Yeah, and a good opportunity to get some reps in 2-minute offense. Trinidad Chambliss showing his elusiveness and quickness on that run.
From the 33, Chambliss, no pressure up front, threw it behind his receiver. Lacey, incomplete. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Was not thrown backwards. And those are just a few.
First down, Tulane.
Wow.
Wow.
They're saying first down, Tulane. Didn't hear the first part of that. Was that a fumble recovery?
The ruling on the field was a backwards pass recovered by the defense. So obviously be reviewed.
From our vantage point, it didn't appear to be.
Yeah, so the ball was thrown on the 32. I think that's clearly forward. The ball was thrown between the 32 and the 33-yard line. The hands of Kewan Lacey hit it about right at the 32. Or excuse me, that's the between the 27 and 28.
Steve Marlowe and his crew, they did not blow any whistles. They slow played it and just sat back and kind of let it play out.
Watch where this ball is thrown. I mean, it's between it, so
27 and 28.
The ball is thrown between the 27 and 28, and then I think it's going forward just a little bit, but it's clearly not backwards.
That did not appear to be a backward pass. I think they're going to find that this is an incomplete forward pass, as called a moment ago. But we will see.
Those are the mechanics, though, an officiating crew should go through. If you're not sure, let it play out.
Great point.
So that you have a clear recovery at the end, so that you can adjudicate it properly. I mean, replay will always come back and review and clean things up.
Well, the ruling on the field is a backward pass recovered by the Green Wave. Well, we're going to find out whether there's indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field right now.
After further review, it is an incomplete pass. The passer threw the ball from the 27 and a half, and it was touched at the 28. It'll be 2nd down.
See, when you spend a few $1,000 on LASIK surgery for your eyes, you're right once in a while, right?
Yes, you are.
1:22 to go. It'll be Rebel football.
You got that 2015 vision, don't you?
Yeah. Both teams coming in 3-0. University of Mississippi missed a shot a moment ago downfield with Wallace the third. See if they try and dial one up again before the end of the half.
Still got 3 timeouts, too, so they have an eternity with 1:22 left on the clock.
On the up and out. They're taking a shot again, open again. And this time it's caught by Lee. They were intent and purposeful on taking another shot. 47-yard gain. They're going to spot it at the 20. Got 3 timeouts remaining. Chambliss will keep it, and he's going to be brought down losing a couple of yards. Shepard made the tackle on the play at the 22.
Here it is. You're just going to get a double move by Caden Lee. They actually had it on both sides. Trinidad Chambliss could take his choice. Both of them are open. He decides to go for the higher difficulty throw, going to Lee, whose safety was closer. But a big play and a well-called, well-timed call by Lane Kiffin and offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss Jr.
30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock.
Well, all these receivers, Roddy, and we talked about the strength of that wide receiver room. Love the fact to a man that this offense, led by Charlie Weiss Jr., is a very aggressive, very NFL-style offense.
And they haven't really thrown the ball down the field a ton in this game. It's been mostly underneath and operating with efficiency, high completion percentage, and a lot of RPO stuff. But here on this 2-minute drive, they've been aggressive.
Yeah.
Double move by Harrison Wallace to start. Now when you had double moves on both sides and he hits Caden Lee. Really nice job by completing the pass.
You know, everyone has an opinion on Coach Lane Kiffin. Now he shares his too. E60's The Many Lives of Lane Kiffin premieres Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN and the ESPN app. I like the shades.
I do too. I'm excited to see that.
Nice. Yeah.
You forget the lives that he's lived. Head coach of Tennessee, head coach of the Raiders, his time under Nick Saban.
Chambliss pulls complete at the 15-yard line. Deuce Alexander. They're going to blow it dead at the 15. And the Rebels are going to burn one of their timeouts.
30-second timeout.
With 34 seconds to go. And already leading by 17.
You know, in talking to Lane Kiffin yesterday about his journey, he said the 2 people that I take my coaching philosophies from, that I've been influenced the most in coaching, other than his dad, of course,
right.
Pete Carroll and Nick Saban, could not be more opposite in terms of how they operate from a team standpoint. A lot of the attention to detail obviously comes from the Nick Saban tree, but the way he operates, guys having fun in the locker room, being able to play their own music, that comes from the Pete Carroll school.
Yes.
And Pete Carroll's still doing it at a high level.
He talks about a culture of joy, doesn't he, Q?
Yeah, and Coach Kiffin, I think, is living that right now. He's really transformed his life. I've never seen him more happy in terms of his family life. His son is a quarterback at Oxford High, scored his first touchdown 2 weeks ago. His daughter looking at a volleyball career. I just think he's in a great spot, and he's clearly identified how he wants his program run, kind of an NFL model.
Took over in 2020. This year's team undefeated at 3-0. 3rd down and 4. Pressure coming by the Green Wave. Chambliss pulls incomplete at the 7-yard line. So it'll be 4th and 4 coming up. Jaheim Johnson was all over Harrison Wallace.
Big stop for this Tulane defense. They're looking at getting the ball first in the second half, and the defense has come up a couple of times big on 3rd downs, forcing Ole Miss to kick field goals. And while Ole Miss has really controlled the game offensively and moved the ball, I think they're going to look at some of those opportunities and think that there's more left on the table offensively.
Carnero has made 2 field goals today from 22-54. This one coming from 33.
30-second timeout.
And Coach Summerall going to try and put him on ice with a timeout. I don't know if you put a guy on ice on a 90-degree day like today, but
certainly don't.
Theoretically,
yeah, as good as Carnero.
What a day Trinidad Chambliss is having, running the football as well as throwing it. He's passed it 19 times, completing 13 for 182 yards and a touchdown as well.
Had a phenomenal catch by Caden Lee, the transfer from Ferris State. And I don't think I'm alone in having to look up where Ferris State was when I heard Trinidad Chambliss's name last week. Really the week before against Kentucky when he came in and was efficient. But this guy has been an absolute revelation for this Ole Miss offense, who loses their starting quarterback, a guy there was a lot of excitement around in Austin Simmons.
Carnero again from 33. Right between the sticks. And they increase their lead by 3 more points. They lead by 20.
And Ole Miss so efficient offensively in the first half, 5 for 5 on scoring points. And I mean, Trinidad Chambliss is on pace to top his production last week. 415 total yards against Arkansas, already at 266 today. I am no math major, but if you double that in the second half, it's going to be over 500 yards.
Boy, what does it say about quarterback insurance policies around FBS football?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you pluck a quarterback from D2 Ferris State and you put some bands in his pocket and he ends up, you could say, almost outperforming things right now, right?
I think if you look at the balance of the quarterback performances this year, it is very fair to say Trinidad Chambliss has been the better of the 2 quarterbacks so far. He still has not turned the ball over. Austin Simmons, remember, had 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, in those first 2 games.
Hey, I'm not pocket watching. I'm happy these kids are putting some money in their pocket. Trust me.
You sound like a little bit of a hater there.
Well, for 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's general scholarship fund supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. Just seconds remaining in the opening half.
I wonder how curious, I'm curious how aggressive Tulane is going to be here, because 24 seconds left. You have 2 timeouts. I think you're trying to get something
right
at the end of this half and try and double up with a score at the beginning of the second half. You're already down 20. I mean, it's not a lot to lose by being aggressive here.
Lane Kiffin has been extremely pleased with his defense so far. As Quint reported a moment ago, that pass dropped. Roddy, they're not going to catch up by dropping passes like that. Gordon, as now Retzloff is 0 of 9.
That one obviously not on him, but I mean, that is futility at its most extreme.
Well, it's a process, and head coach John Sumrall told us his job first and foremost to serve and to develop players. Trying to fast track something here this afternoon as Retzloff comes underneath, and it's 7-yard gain from Justin Reed. That was his first completion of the game, folks, on what looks like the last play of the first half. Took almost 30 minutes of play. Chambliss, his counterpart, has been brilliant at quarterback. His first name, Trinidad. They say no man is an island, but his first name is Trinidad, folks. Come on. Time for the Lexus Halftime Report. Matt Berry, Joey Galloway, and E.J. Manuel with the scores and analysis for you. Welcome back to ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. Folks, this is the SEC on ESPN from Oxford, Mississippi. The Rebels leading the Green Wave right now as Tulane will have control of the football when we start this third quarter. Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, Quinn Kesnick down to the field. Boy, we talked about quarterbacks at the top of the show, partner, and so far one quarterback has really dominated the storyline as we take a look at our player spotlight brought to you by Cintas.
It's been Trinidad, don't believe me, just watch. Chambliss, who's been awesome today. 182 through the air on 13 of 19. That includes a drop on a long pass down the field to Trey Wallace. 84 yards rushing, that big 41-yard run earlier in the game. And you talk about mining talent from anywhere. I mean, at Ferris State, the Division II national champions a year ago, check that out. Under 10,000 people from Big Rapids, Michigan, which was not big enough to contain Trinidad Chambliss.
The check might not have been big enough, amongst other things. They're going to take the knee and come out 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. His counterpart, Jake Retzloff, will have the football. Retzloff completed all of one pass in the first half. This Tulane offense, arrhythmic, without any kind of flow in that first half of play. Just a field goal to show for it. He only attempted 10 passes.
And if you're Tulane, at some point, I think you got to test these Ole Miss defensive backs down the field. Got called for a number of pass interference penalties last week against Arkansas. I mean, test their patience to be able to play the ball when the ball's in the air. Could be the best passing offense you have so far this game.
Run a little counter across the formation. That's Arnold Barnes, the third, for about 5 yards. Let's go down to Q.
I had a nice walk-off discussion with Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin. Talking about the red zone, the stats don't really agree with his assessment of the Rebels' performance, settling for 3 field goals. The drop by Trey Wallace was really a concern. He said, you know, they take that, do that double move, they take their shots, it's there, it's a touchdown, and the drop, that really frustrated him. And then he mentioned that Pete Golding, their DC, really satisfied with the way the defense, no busts this week, Roddy. Assignment sound, this defense today.
Yeah, they really have been, particularly when it comes to the quarterback run game, Q, something they struggled with so mightily last week. But they simplified the defense. Pete Golding was fired up yesterday when we talked to him. And he talked about simplifying the defense for specific players, making sure that each guy can play the calls that they're given on the field. And if they can't play them, then, hey, we won't call them when you're on the field. Just get good at these couple of things. And it seems like they've done that today.
There's a look at the defensive coordinator. And, of course, the Arkansas quarterback run game was a nice dress rehearsal of sorts for the Rebels here defensively today. That pass complete, and that's going to be good enough for first down. Number 83, Bryce Bohannon, one of the leading voices on that offensive unit, picked up 4. Sage Ryan made the tackle on the play, but the Green Wave moved the sticks.
It was an on-time, accurate, confident delivery by Jake Retzloff. We haven't seen that a lot. Ole Miss has taken away his first read in this game, and it's forced him to kind of sit around the pocket and have to scan. Good concept and a good delivery by Retzloff.
Retzloff goes through his progression, pass caught out near midfield. Good hands by Preston. Graves was the defender on the play, and an authoritative sling by Retzloff.
It really is, and you're going to get the slant. The swing route's going to take a defender underneath, and Jake Retzloff just delivers accurately. Got Shaz Preston able to snag the ball out of the air. Really nice job, and some rhythm in the passing game for Tulane.
17-yard gain. Down to the 47 of the Rebels. They're going to keep it on the ground with Gordon. And Gordon plowing forward between the tackles. Picked up 7 on the play. Nice rhythm and pace, which were lacking in the first half offensively.
It's amazing when you can get first downs, how much it changes the feel. And Tulane did have a long drive in that first half, only one of them. They ended up having to settle for a field goal. To get back in this game, it's going to be about putting the ball in the end zone. We still haven't seen chunk plays, though, from Tulane, other than from the feet. of Jake Retzloff.
2nd and 3, very manageable scenario here. They're going to keep it on the ground with Gordon bouncing it outside, and Gordon pushed out of bounds right near that first down marker by Chris Graves Jr. Let's see where the spot is. He was really close to picking up that first down.
Certainly was.
They're going to give it to him, it looks like.
It's a nice job on the perimeter by Omari Hayes as the ball bounced outside, getting a nice little shield block on one of the Ole Miss safeties. And now as you've gotten some momentum outside of just Jake Retzloff running the ball, can keep this Ole Miss defense guessing a little bit more and not focus in on just the quarterback, and maybe you can get the quarterback's legs going again.
Retzloff with a clean pocket. Downfield, incomplete, threw it behind Stevens, who was open in that crease in the secondary. Setting up a 2nd down and 10.
It's a double move up top, and the corner sits and safety's over the top, so there's a little hole right there for Jake Retzloff to fit the ball into, and it's actually a pretty nice throw. The window's not huge, and it's got to be right there, or else the safety's able to get over there. Throws it to the back shoulder a little bit. You'd love for Anthony Brown-Stevens to be able to come down with that. It's a tough throw, high level of difficulty there, high level of difficulty on the catch, just not quite able to make the play.
2nd and 10 as a result. Between the tackles again, a spirited run by Arnold Barnes picking up the first down. Got about 12 on the play, and they move the chains again on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Yeah, the hole's going to open up here on the right side. TJ Daugherty's a little too far, and it opens up the ability for Barnes to get right up behind the puller. He kicks out Daugherty, and Tulane's rhythm once again. A 10-yard run after the missed double move. They've converted some 3rd downs. The adjustment's paying off.
Roddy, this is the 9th play of the drive. And nowhere to go that time for Arnold Barnes. Stopped up after a 1-yard gain by Perkins. Barnes will come out of the ball game. Gordon will come back in. Seen a little bit of Zubri Mobley as well. Turner is injured, but the Green Wave has used three different backs here tonight. 2nd and 9, still looking for a bunch of answers offensively. Down to the 25, still on his feet. Bohannon trying to get to the edge, finally pushed out of bounds. Bryce Bohannon with a nice gain. He got 14 on this play and another first down.
Look at all the big bodies that get out in front of Bryce Bohannon. I mean, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 offensive linemen out there trying to search for some work down the field. Well-designed play by Joe Craddock, the offensive coordinator for Tulane, who has Pete Golding's defense a little on their heels to start this 2nd half.
Reed in motion, Gordon in the backfield. Gordon gets the call, and Gordon makes it down to about the 4-yard line. Jaden Yates making the tackle on that 6-yard gain. Retzloff in the first half was 0 for 9 on this drive. He's 4 for 5. And the play calling has been immaculate. They go quick, and nowhere to go that time for Gordon. Stopped up by Harris, who has been an imperious presence in the middle.
Joe Craddock, they call him Big Smoke. The coaching staff does. Why? Nobody really knows, but Big Smoke is cooking right now. He's got to find the right ingredients, though, to get this ball in the end zone. This is 4-down territory. You got to get a touchdown out of this. You've already eaten up half of the 3rd quarter, so possessions are going to be at a premium most likely.
3rd and goal from just inside the 5. Barnes in the backfield. Retzloff under heat. Got it away and overshoots his receiver, tight end Justin Reed. So it sets up 4th down, and you would think that, yeah, the offense is going to stay on the field right now.
And
4th and goal.
You have not been able to prevent Ole Miss's offense from scoring
Yeah.
You've been able to prevent them scoring touchdowns, but they're 5 for 5 and they've gotten the ball, putting it in the end zone. Down 20. You gotta find the end zone here.
Bohannon and Preston split to the top of your screen. The 2 wide receivers.
For Ole Miss, who spies Jake Retzloff's the #1 question. Keep the quarterback in the pocket, make him beat you with his arm.
Retzloff throws it, incomplete. And the Rebels will take over on downs. Brown Stevens was the closest receiver. But that pass had no chance. Disappointment and disbelief etched on the countenance of the Green Wave fans when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, as we take a look at today's playbook brought to you by Flyhouse.
Really nice job by this Ole Miss secondary. Kapena Gushkin does a really good job of seeing the in-breaking route. He's responsible for that. Collisions the receiver at the top of the route. Anthony Brown-Stevens doesn't continue to fight back inside for his quarterback, and Ole Miss gets the 4th down stop.
Handoff out of the end zone, and out to the 12-yard line is Kawan Lacey. Well, Kawan Lacey picks up 7 yards. What a great discovery he's been after transferring from Mizzou. Didn't play a whole lot last year as a freshman. Off the play fake, pass complete. That's going to be a 1st down to Stribling. His forward progress was beyond that approximation of a 1st down line. Shine making the stop on the play for the Green Wave.
Feels like forever since we've seen this Ole Miss offense, but they pick up right where they left off. Good run on 1st down, throw on 2nd down, and you've got a new set. Trinidad Chambliss continues his hot start, his hot day.
Going back to last week, remember, he passed for 353 yards in an impressive performance and win against Arkansas. From Ferris State University, hands it off to his tailback, Lacey, nowhere to go that time. Cameron Hilton, with some intransigence defensively, makes the tackle for Tulane. Approaching 6.5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Second down and 10.
Ole Miss has slowed down their pace just a little bit here in the first drive of the second half.
Lee in motion. Chambliss runs it into the boundary, tiptoes out of bounds at about the 20. Picked up 4 on the play.
Watch this, the left defensive end right here. You're going to get it split flow action, and he is completely expecting the block from Daquan Wright on a little split zone, but Daquan Wright slips him and goes around the corner. And that's what's so tough playing defensive end against teams that can have the quarterback keep it.
Chambliss can throw it too, tipped away nicely at the 35-yard line by the ubiquitous Javion White, who is everywhere on the field. Already with 3 interceptions this year for Tulane, and broke that pass up as well. And I mean, he kind of laid out for this too.
He did. He needed to, because he was beaten. Caden Lee had a step. Trinidad Chambliss puts a little bit more out front, and that could go for a big gain.
Here's the punt from Bird. First of the day, actually. Nice move by Hayes to get away from a couple defenders, tight roping it down the sidelines, and finally pushed out of bounds at about the 40.
Well, Mark, you threw out the word intransigent, unwilling or refusing to change one's views or agree to something. There's a little less intransigence in this world, but more intransigence about not changing the channel. We'll be back.
Oh, I love it.
In Oxford, memories stored, a treasure trove. A rebel yell of home-style planning, that's the uniqueness of the Grove. Complete with a dart for the heart, a father-son Manning, a cornucopia of earthly delights, a game day celebration of majestic and historic sights.
Tell you what, there's not a lot of places, Roddy, Quint, where you go and you get chandeliers in some of the pop-ups and some of the spots where people eat tailgating. This is next level tailgating here in Oxford.
I've got a lot of logistical questions about how one transports the chandelier, electricity. I mean, there's just a lot of questions, but very impressive.
There's a few generators there.
Yeah, must be.
Under 5.5 to go. Retzloff pulls behind his receiver, but caught. No, they're going to rule a catch by Preston. 14-yard gain. Q?
A lot of the setup in the Grove, it's kind of like put on the calendar. Friday afternoon, it's opened up. You can start moving your tents and your chairs in, and then Friday night, it's open until, I don't know, 9 or 10 p.m. Saturday morning, open early. So it's a gradual process, and you need helpers. There's a whole group of people with vests on who are there Friday helping folks out.
Part of the scene here, a little malfunction at the junction in the backfield. Retzloff tried to make some lemonade out of the situation and got down to the 45-yard line. Williams Jr. making the tackle.
But it's a cross-section, Mark. It's not all cutlery and chandeliers. There's a little bit of a frat party scene going on there as well. So it's the it's a full spectrum of partiers.
All I need is a plate, Q.
Yep. All
I need is a plate. I don't even need cutlery. I got long sleeves today. I don't need napkins either, Rod.
No, you don't. Just an opportunity is all I ask for.
Green Wave looking for an opportunity offensively, trying to hold on to the football. On 2nd and 7, it's Mobley. And Mobley with a gain of about 4 on the play.
But the way Tulane's been able to move the ball on their first drive and then so far on this drive, I mean, if you can put the ball in the end zone, you make things interesting. They're inside the 5-yard line. Now you've got a 3rd down. You're certainly going for it on 4th if you don't get it.
Yes.
So you've got an opportunity here to maybe take a shot in a situation where Ole Miss may not expect it.
Barnes in the backfield. 3rd and 2. Quarterback run by Retzloff. He's not going to get it. Brought down from behind. Uman Mielen making the tackle on the play. Setting up a 4th down and short.
I mean, when you look at this Tulane offensive line, the heaviest guy, number 77, Darian Reed, 318 pounds. I mean, Ole Miss has got a couple of those guys up front, so getting this couple yards by just powering up the middle is going to be really tough for this Tulane offense.
Barnes in the backfield. He takes the direct snap. He's not going to get it. The defense holding on 4th down for the Rebels. And they will take over on downs from there. Lane Kiffin has to be impressed with his defensive effort today. We'll be back in just a moment.
Tonight, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. The world will be watching. Stream WrestlePalooza on the ESPN app tonight.
And welcome back, everyone, to Oxford, Mississippi. Rebels with the football, first down and 10. 2:39 to go in the third quarter. In command right now. 23-3 on the double move. Chambliss downfield. Is it caught? A reception by Alexander. Deuce on the loose. Wow. And what a pinpoint pass by Chambliss. Out there diamond, Roddy.
Defender was flat-footed. Deuce Alexander steps on his toes, goes right by him, and you said it. What a dime by Trinidad Chambliss.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass. The previous play is under further review.
35-yard gain if it stands, and we're, of course, going to take another look at this as well.
He snags it initially. Does he survive the ground?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think that's clearly a catch. Let's make sure all the body part hits down in bounds. Yeah, that left foot is in. To be quite honest, they asked the replay official, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good in the league. That's 2 feet.
Jerry McGinn with us, our rules analyst. Jerry, what did you see on that call?
I think Roddy's is right
After
on.
further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down.
Yeah, I think last year that would have been confirmed. That's a good catch. He, as you said, Roddy had his left foot in, complete control of the ball. It's a good catch.
Hey, Jerry, because of the tempo, is that why you get the radio down to stop? Because Ole Miss hurries up to the line. It's clearly a catch, but the replay official just needs a second look. Is the tempo cause that stoppage, you think?
I believe so. You know, if they're moving that quick, sometimes there is some smoke to the fact that, you know what, maybe he didn't catch it, so it's a good stop by them.
Chambliss off the bootleg, using his legs and tiptoes out of bounds. Gained about 8 on the play. Man, he has done it in all facets of the game today. But I tell you what, you look at his football pants. I mean, they always talk about rules in the knees. I'm not going to snitch, but he almost wearing hot pants out there, man.
A little higher might be the pants that you was working out in this morning.
Good compression shorts. I mean, every year we hear the rule talk, right, about pants and knee pads.
I feel like you gotta pick your battles here.
Okay.
And we've got some,
I'm not trying to snitch, but he moves pretty well.
I think we've got the first down markers broken. Formerly the chains, but we don't have the chains anymore. You know, we don't have the two posts. We've got this newfangled thing that has the yardage on there, and they might have to bring out the chains.
If we don't have chains, why did we just have a delay for the broken chains?
How about that?
Well, look what they're bringing out. They're bringing out the actual chains. Like, they're bringing out the old school.
Backup.
You guys ever have to work the chain gang at a youth football game? That's power right there.
Always ready. Let's take a look at what happened. Our cameras are everywhere, folks. Our director, Aladdin Freeman, got guys. Oh, there it is, right there. Chambliss's right leg snapped it.
Snapped it, yeah.
Second and 2. They fake the jet sweep. Chambliss keeps it. A yawning hole up the middle. Chambliss a yard shy of the end zone at the 1. An incredible burst of speed. Good for 16 yards.
Just a counter play that opens up, and it parts like the Red Sea. Trinidad Chambliss says, oh, I will take that highway all day long down inside the 10.
Lacey in the backfield beside Chambliss. They go to Lacey on the direct snap. Looking for a surge, won't find it. He's going to be stopped up behind the line of scrimmage. Wonderful insurrection on the right side of that defensive front An insurgents led by Hamilton, Hopper, and Dyson.
It's funny, we were talking to Charlie Weiss Jr. about play calling, and he was talking about his dad, obviously Charlie Weiss Sr., one of the great play callers. We asked if he ever gets any feedback from his dad. He said the only feedback that he gets is, why aren't you under center on 3rd and short, or you know, goal line and short?
Direct snap again to Lacey, and stopped up short of the end zone for the 2nd consecutive time. They came back trying to run it off tackle, and now we're looking at a 3rd down and goal. So this is a very prideful defensive front. Front 7 at least for Tulane. And that's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter here in Oxford. Luminaries on the sidelines and upstairs. One of the greatest to ever do it here at the University of Mississippi. Archie Manning. He's got some sons that can play too. You heard, right? Welcome back, everyone. 23-3 as we get ready to start the 4th quarter play. Rebels have been in charge for most of the game.
A couple of short yardage stops by this Tulane defense, and Ole Miss has had a lot to think about. Do you go for the plunge again? We've seen play action trying to sneak a guy in the back of the end zone. Daquan Wright, the tight end, split to the bottom of your screen all by himself down here.
Chambliss on the option, and that's room service for Lacey. Touchdown, Rebels. P1 Lacey with just a little bit of light work. That's his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the beat goes on for the Rebels.
It does. Speed option, you get it kicked to the perimeter. You got the tight end blocking a corner out there, and it's a race to the pylon that P1 Lacey wins. Ole Miss leaving the offense out on the field, it appears.
Leading 29-3. Talked about Lacey's speed. He hit 21 miles per hour on the GPS against Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. As we go for Dose, brought to you by Dos Equis. They fake the jet sweep. Chambliss tackled near the goal line. Wallace, they give it to him. His momentum carried him into the end zone, and they get the 2. They got the Dos Equis.
That'll come later after the Rebels finish this thing off, as it appears they will, but a big collision. And it looks like Harrison Wallace falls into the end zone. Check out our pylon cam. Big hit being met by Jaheim Johnson. And that ball crossed the line.
Close call, but made it.
Yeah. An inch is as good as a mile when it comes to getting in the end zone.
Harris the third with the 2 points. It's now 31-3. The ball breaking the plane to the goal line, thus it's good. It was interesting to hear Coach Summerall speaking with Quinn a moment ago about if you translate it and read between the lines, it's about continuing to set the expectation and culture for the Green Wave. And this will come out 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. You know, folks, ESPN supports the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week each year to celebrate great teachers across the country who've inspired so many of us. Nominate a great teacher in your community by visiting cfpfoundation.org.
Got some teachers in your family?
Yeah, Grandpa Jones, Francis Jones, was an English professor. He used to drill my older brother and I on vocabulary whenever we visited. Wasn't always fun.
Is that where the encyclopedic knowledge of the dictionary came from? As you get a look at the new quarterback, Brendan Sullivan.
QB2 in the ball game. He was QB1 before he was injured a couple of weeks ago. Sullivan pulls it out on the RPO. Wide open at the 35-yard line. That's Hayes. And Hayes is brought down 2 yards shy of midfield. Good enough for a first down.
One of the things that the coaches said, sorry Mark, was they talked about how good an athlete Brendan Sullivan was, and the fact that it was an injury in camp that led to Jake Retzloff winning the starting job. You see the numbers on Retzloff, but Sullivan, a guy who can hit 22 miles an hour according to Tulane's GPS at 6'4", 220 pounds.
He's going to use his legs right there. Got near midfield, picking up about 3 yards on the play. Eccles with the stop. But so far on the season, 5 of 5 passing coming into the game. From Davison High School in Michigan, a Northwestern and, an Iowa transfer. He's going to get some reps here in the fourth quarter. Checks it down. Great hand walk by Gordon to stay on his feet. Ends up about a yard shy of the first down. Hey, coming up at 7:30 Eastern over on ABC, number 4 Miami hosts the Florida Gators at Hard Rock Stadium in Carroll City, Florida.
DJ Lagway, Florida's quarterback, having to bounce back from a 5-interception performance at LSU. I'll tell you what, that Florida defense It's been pretty good this year, up against a Miami offense that's been phenomenal as well. But Florida defensively has only given up 2 defensive touchdowns in 3 games.
Great game tonight over on ABC. Sullivan ran it himself. Ends up at the 45. That'll be a loss about 1. And 4th down coming up, and you would expect that they would go for it. Franklin made the tackle.
There's just not been a lot of push in the second half on these short yardage plays from Tulane. Ole Miss defensive line has done a really nice job of really resetting the line of scrimmage into the offensive backfield and making it tough to run the ball.
And that's the thing that you always hear and we've seen through the years with the SEC. It is a line of scrimmage league, and you've got to have some guys up there. Him.
Timeout Tulane, the first of the half.
Got a timeout on the field coming up. The Force will be with you of the SEC. Welcome back, everyone, to Oxford, Mississippi, and the rankings far away. SEC powers in the forum of college football, the ambition of college football, the SEC reigning supreme. Look at all those teams. That's a fake James Earl Jones. Yeah, we already know. But look at all those SEC teams, Roddy, in the top 25.
I mean, the depth of the league has certainly shown through. You got Tennessee, Vandy jumping in there with its win over South Carolina, Auburn jumping in, them in Oklahoma going toe-to-toe right now, Oklahoma up by 3. How about Missouri? Double-digit wins the last 2 seasons, and we're not even talking about them. 11 total teams in the top 25 from the Southeastern Conference.
And if you're talking Star Wars. Yeah, this conference has a leg up on it right now.
Yeah, let's say so. Talk about the new conference, or the new strength of record metric that the College Football Playoff Committee is going to use. The first committee rankings look anything like that. I can tell you, the SEC teams are going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Chambliss downfield, has a man open. Right, still on his feet, down to the 2. First and goal, Rebels. A 53-yard pickup. Boy, Chambliss with another precision pass. Diggs in the backfield on first and goal. He gets the call. Diggs digging for the end zone and touchdown.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. You're going to get Daquan Wright going up the seam, but this safety back here is taken out of the play by something coming across his face. You get the route that takes the safety away from where Daquan Wright is going. He climbs after he passes the linebackers. It's a good delivery by Trinidad Chambliss to get that ball to Wright with an opportunity to get up the field and make a play. Ole Miss continues its offensive dominance.
Man, Roddy, the second rushing touchdown of the season for Diggs. The extra point, good. Hey, forget about Tobago, because the Rebels got all of Trinidad and a lot of time to play too, as the number continues to climb on his meter.
ESPN College Football is presented by Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat.
That's how players come in. You got to be dripping, right? Sabrina, LeBron, the Louis Vuitton Don, and Triple H. That's a nice fit right there, Roddy. I like that.
Yeah, we're showing up to WrestlePalooza in style.
Yes.
Io Sky walking in. And how about the American Nightmare,
I like
Cody
that.
Rhodes?
I like that. I like that.
Little,
like that.
Little vested action. Cody Rhodes always dressed to the nines.
Yeah. Great show tonight coming up on ESPN. First WWE WrestlePalooza. Unlock your access and stream it exclusively on the ESPN app with the ESPN Unlimited plan. 7 o'clock Eastern time tonight.
John Cena, Brock Lesnar. Highlight of it. I don't really know all those storylines, but that's been a big wrestling match.
Yes.
Cena and Lesnar for about 15 years.
It's like we got Brendan Sullivan coming in again at quarterback here with 11:45 to go. And this has been a portrait of dominance today painted by the Rebels. They lead 38-3. They've led from the opening kick pretty much. They've never trailed in this game. Sullivan on the slant, incomplete. Intended for Brown Stevens. Here's a look at their upcoming schedule. They'll be at Tulsa, who
just
really put it on Oklahoma State.
The belt to Oklahoma State. The big one that you're looking at is at Memphis on November 2nd. I mean, that one, and at UTSA. UTSA is going to be a good football team. But all is not lost for Tulane just because of this game. You got 2 Power 4 wins already. It feels like if you go on in the American and win that, you have a really good chance to be in the college football playoff.
Sullivan under heat. Will throw it away. There's a receiver in the area. Went beyond the line of scrimmage. That'll be no grounding. Uman Malelin with the pressure, Roddy.
John Summerall, the head coach of Tulane, a guy who's 35-9 in his head coaching career, was phenomenal at Troy, 22-4, went 9-5 here at Tulane last year, and this will be likely the first loss of the Green Wave. I mean, he is a name that you need to get to know because he will be at the top of all the coaching searches. And there's 2 of them already open, and his name's being thrown out for him. But if SEC jobs open up, his connections to this league, he is certainly going to be a big-time target.
Yeah, one of the hot names in the coaching circles and a real players coach. Sullivan on the loose and forced out of bounds at about the 33-yard line, a couple yards shy of that first down. Banks, Tyler, and TJ making the stop, Q.
Honest and direct approach. He told us, John Summerall did, he's brutally honest with his players. He also said he loves his job, he loves his players, he's here to serve those players. Said if we're going to fight for one another, we must get to know each other. And so he's terrific in terms of building team culture. And I sense that, even though they're getting run off the field right now here today, this is a team that's on the same page with one another.
And here's the punt from Clark. Yeah, interesting once again on Summerall. I asked him about his coaching mentors and who he chimes in with when he had to, and said Rich Brooks, former Oregon head coach back in the day, is a mentor, and Mark Stoops as well, somebody he considers a mentor. Tell you what, when you got guys like that in your corner, you're heading in the right direction.
No doubt, and just like you said, that culture is going to be tested after a game like this. You see, there's a phenomenal linebacker at Kentucky, assistant coach at Kentucky, Tulane, and Ole Miss. His 2 years at Troy was 22-4. And we had some Ole Miss people come up and tell us that when he was here, people absolutely loved his energy on the sideline and wanted him to be named defensive coordinator by Matt Luke.
Yeah. Stribbling the intended receiver that time for Trinidad Chambliss. Chambliss again putting up good numbers this afternoon. 274 yards passing on 16 of 23. Has a touchdown pass as well. Tell you what, it's a great luxury when you have QB number 2 not giving you any drop-off in productivity, while Austin Simmons, who's quarterback number 1, heals from that sore ankle. Chambliss downfield, incomplete. Intended for Odom, but we got a flag down. Got a flag on the field.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 95 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's hits like these that kind of make you wonder if you're Lane Kiffin, why don't you get Trinidad Chambliss out of here? A.J. Maddox, the backup, the freshman, hasn't really played this year, but if you're putting your quarterback at risk, Austin Simmons already on the shelf. You got LSU next week. I mean, you got to start to think Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, big one coming up. They're going to review to see if we have a case of targeting. And for more, let's bring in Jerry McGinn, our guy. Jerry, what do you make of this hit, and does it check the requisite boxes?
So I'm seeing number 9 coming in towards the back end of the quarterback, but it looks like he hits his shoulder first. Number 95 coming from the front. I don't see crown of the helmet, and he doesn't hit him in the helmet, in the head. So I think replay will take this off. But this is a good one to take a look at because it is a big hit by the defense.
Yeah, agree. You got the quarterback in a passing posture. He is a defensive player, so if you had forcible contact to the head or neck area with an indicator of targeting, then you would obviously get it there, but I don't see it either,
After
Jared.
further review, there is no targeting. First down, Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's a good pickup by replay, though, to take a look at it. You don't need the game to get away from you with targeting calls at the end here.
No doubt. And it's an impactful call because if it was indeed targeting, the offending player would be out for the first half in the next game.
Right.
Exactly.
Trinidad Chambliss going to stay in the game. I mean, Ole Miss has got all the starters still in with 10:36. I would imagine this is their last series, and that's what Lane's probably telling them.
Okay.
You got Austin Simmons on one leg so far. You don't need another quarterback getting hurt because something silly happens with the defense.
Tell these players on the field, hey, you better get your numbers now. 10:36 to go. In command, Lacey picked up about 4. There's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? I'm not going to lie, the fans have thinned out a little bit here at Claude Hemingway Stadium.
They're living Más elsewhere.
Yes. La Vida Loco style. And that's going to be Lacey over the left side of the offensive line. Running over Townsend and Pounds. Third down coming up. Is that what I think it is? A beer snake?
I think it's a beer snake. I would imagine that those are the pledges that have to be here. And you have to be dressed in uniform and stay for the whole game. Form of initiation.
High snap. Comes down. Good move by Lacey, but nice fill in the hole and tackle on the play by, looked like it was White there. But a first down. Moore was also there to make the tackle for the Green Wave. Picked up 3, moving the chains with 9:18 to play.
Q1 Lacey's going to think he had an opportunity to break that one, make the guy miss in the hole and hit your head on the goalpost.
Chambliss rolling right. Ran out of room and threw it away. And we have another flag down on the field.
There is no foul for an ineligible player downfield. The quarterback legally grounded the football out of bounds. Second down.
Here's a look at what could have been last year for the Rebels. Loss against Kentucky by a field goal, and then that overtime loss against LSU, which will stick in their consciousness for a little bit, especially with that game upcoming next weekend.
Talk about the losses to Kentucky and Florida. Like, those were two teams that were clearly inferior to Ole Miss a year ago.
On the draw. Oh, great cut by Lacey. Picked up another first down, but he put his cleats in the ground and changed direction. What a move.
Going back, yeah, it was a great move by Q1 Lacey, but going back to last year with Ole Miss, think about how close they were. Those 2 losses to inferior teams. They had LSU. The game tying drive by LSU, they had 2 4th downs, had a chance to get off the field. LSU and Garrett Nussmeier made plays, but they were that close to being a college football playoff team.
Chambliss had it deflected at the line of scrimmage. And that pass incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
You know,
Harvey Dyson tipped that.
We've seen on this drive, Trinidad Chambliss get hit on a roughing the passer call. That one, he's throwing the ball, his hand gets hit. He already last week, he had his hand hit a helmet, had to come out for a number of plays. I mean, you're just kind of a freak incident away from being really short-handed against LSU. Something happens to the quarterback or one of these starters that are still in the game.
Deuce Alexander, one of those starters, motioning out to the top of your screen. And the Rebels are going to call timeout, burning one of their 3 timeouts in the half. We'll take a timeout as well. Chambliss in control when we return to Oxford. Here's what happened a moment ago. Chambliss on that attempted pass that was deflected at the line of scrimmage by Harvey Dyson came off the field, Roddy, subsequent to that, and seemed to be favoring his right hand, his passing arm.
And there was a series last week against Arkansas where he hit his hand on the top of a helmet and had to come out for 4 plays. Austin Simmons came in the game and led him to a touchdown, but I mean, that could have been why he was favoring it.
Testing that hand here. Complete, downfield, touchdown, Deuce on the loose. I guess his hand is all right, partner. It's working.
We consider that much ado about nothing. Deuce Alexander, watch him play the football, uses his body against the defensive back. That's a phenomenal job by a receiver, creating the contact with the defender, making sure that he's going to be on your back, securing the football, and getting into the end zone. Even in a blowout, I mean, that is teach tape for how you do it as a receiver. Create that contact, keep that guy behind you, catch the ball and get in the end zone.
And with that pass, Chambliss now over 300 yards passing for the afternoon for Deuce Alexander. That was his first touchdown reception of the season, the 4th of his career. And the beat goes on and on for the Rebels, leading 45-3. Didn't expect that this offense would be as dominant as they were today.
I kind of did.
You did?
Just because.
Look at Lane Kiffin throwing the pass for Deuce.
Whoa! How about the hops for Deuce, too? Hey, Lane Kiffin told us he likes to have fun, man.
Yeah.
So why not give a guy bounce the oop?
You said it. It's like the culture of joy that one of his mentors, Pete Carroll, likes to preach.
It is. But the questions for this Ole Miss offense were going to be, does Trinidad Chambliss have a regression? Well, clearly that's not the case. But also, I mean, their ability to get their skill position players in space is tremendous. And that skill group is really good again this year, as it always is, seemingly. And if you get good quarterback play and they can run the ball a little bit, they're really dangerous. And this is one of the best offenses in the SEC. So you kind of felt like Tulane was going to struggle stopping them consistently after what Duke was able to do from a yardage standpoint last week.
On the return, it'll go out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Green Wave. Let's grade these dunks a little bit. That was the tight end.
That was the second try,
one, right? Yeah,
second
right.
Try.
Yeah, made it on the second. That was pretty impressive. I give that about a 9.
Tough grader here.
Lacey.
Oh, he missed it.
He tried to go East Bay funk dunk, but missed it.
You think it's a 10-foot goal?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
They're doing it in pads.
I know they're athletic, but the nice assist here from Lane Kiffin on that one.
That's my favorite. You get the head coach involved.
I give that a 10 by Deuce Alexander.
10. I agree. 10 out of 10. He wins the dunk contest. You get Q over there on that thing. Think he'll set it up? Give him a little assist.
45-3. It has been a slam dunk all day for the Rebels. Nice run between the tackles that time. 11-yard gain on the play by the 3rd string tailback that just came into the game. McClure with a nice run. Jamal McClure. As Coach Sumrall continues to trying to establish, for what it's worth, a little bit of culture. Some winning habits here. Sullivan hands it off to McClure. Good burst for another 1st down. Folks, this is the SEC on ESPN.
I think we missed a couple words in there. This is the SEC flexing its muscles on ESPN.
Yeah. Big flex.
This Ole Miss team look legit. I mean, especially offensively. The questions after the Arkansas game were mostly on the defensive side of the ball. They've shored up a lot of that today against a Tulane offense that a week ago was explosive against Duke.
Sullivan looking to pass. Has all day. Flings it. Incomplete at the 9-yard line for Jimmy Callaway. Might have been a little high, but it appeared to hit him in the hands. Sets up 2nd down and 10. 6:56 to go. Hey, what do you make of the fact that this Rebel defense might be, well, technically a shutout in terms of a touchdown?
Yeah.
Is that something you play for this late?
Absolutely. Especially after last week where all the questions that Pete Golding got, Lane Kiffin got, that the Ole Miss fan base was asking this week was about the defense. Is the defense going to be good enough? Is the offense just going to have to score?
Fumble on the field. Sullivan and McGuire couldn't get it, but looked like McClure did recover it. So it'll be 3rd down coming up.
So to answer the question, Mark, yeah, absolutely. They're playing for a shutout the rest of the way. Only allowing 3 points is something you can certainly hang your hat on as a defense.
Coming up next for the Rebels, it'll be LSU. Meanwhile, the Green Wave will take on Tulsa. at Tulsa. Trying to figure a few things out. Sullivan has a man down deep in the end zone. Incomplete, and a flag on the play. Bryce Bohannon, the intended receiver. It's like we're going to have a little pass interference perhaps here.
Pass interference, defense number 20, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, it's a good call. It's Anthony Robinson the third, doesn't turn around to play the ball, impedes the receiver from getting back to that. That's a no-doubter. If he turns to look and play the ball, I think Bryce Bohannon actually kind of bails him out by not coming back to the ball.
Right.
So had he turned and looked for it, he probably gets away with that.
Moves the ball down to the 28-yard line. Sullivan got it off in time under heat. Knocked away. Great closing time and closing speed on the ball to break it up once again. Cedric Beavers in the secondary.
When they're taking shots, Beavers flips his hips, closes with the speed, and then plays the ball. It's a really nice job of not panicking when the receiver gets by you. Just keep playing the play. Go to the hands, knock it down.
University of Mississippi with its 2s and 3s in the secondary. Sullivan hands it off. And McClure, man, he was surrounded like Pharaoh's army on that one. Nowhere to go. At 5:42 to play. Clock running, a loss of 2 on the play. 3rd down and 12 now for Tulane.
This Tulane team has continued to fight. They've opened up the playbook a little bit more with Brendan Sullivan in game, taking shots down the field. Something that probably should have done a little bit more earlier.
Sullivan taking a shot and really overshot Bryce Bohannon. Remember, Jake Retzloff started this game, if you're just joining us, folks, and he didn't complete a pass until the last play of the first half. He started 0 for 9. And that's his bottom line on the afternoon.
It was a really tough start, and they contained his legs. He had 8 carries for 51 yards, but they didn't feel nearly as impactful or backbreaking as they did a week ago.
A week ago, if you remember, he had 4 touchdowns rushing.
Timeout, Ole Miss.
Timeout on the field. Rebels burning
Their second of the half.
their second of 3.
30-second timeout.
As they stand on the verge of improving to 4-0 with a big one next week coming up against LSU. Hey, our SEC football lineup continues tonight over on SEC Network and the ESPN app. At 7:45 Eastern, 3rd-ranked LSU hosts Southeastern Louisiana in Death Valley, and then at 8, number 8, Texas hosts Sam Houston at DKR on SEC Network Plus. Both games can be found on the all-new ESPN app.
It's a couple teams with offenses that desperately need some rhythm.
Okay.
Now, LSU offensively has gotten off to a little bit of a choppy start. They played some good defenses. Clemson's defense was good, and Syracuse made it look not so great today. And Florida's defense has only allowed 2 touchdowns all year long. So a couple of good defenses that LSU has played. And then obviously, I don't know if you've heard, there's a Manning down there in Austin that struggled a little bit to start the year. We'd love to get Arch some easy completion, some confidence going in to their SEC schedule.
On 4th and 12, Sullivan looking at a blitz, just got it off in time and couldn't connect with his receiver, Hayes. There's a flag down on the play, though.
It's going to be roughing the passer on Nick Kroll for a high hit to the quarterback's head.
Roughing the passer, defense number 29, 15 yards, automatic first down.
That was it. Nick Cole.
Yeah, Nick Cole right up the middle. Watch his right hand. Goes up and smacks the quarterback right in the helmet. Can't do that. If he just lowers the strike zone there to the quarterback's sternum, he's absolutely fine. But you get up to the head of the quarterback, and that is It's one of those protected areas. You can't hit the quarterback's head. Roughing the passer.
Keeps the Green Wave offense on the field with 5:06 to go. McClure out of the backfield. It comes the other way to Bohannon. Bohannon near the first down. Let's see where they spot it, but a nice run after the catch by Bryce Bohannon, one of the leading voices offensively for Tulane. 10-yard pickup. Let's see if that shutout is preserved or not with respect to a defensive touchdown.
There's pride on the line here. Not allowing a touchdown is something that defenses obviously strive to do every week. You don't have many opportunities for it, though.
First and goal. Sullivan incomplete. Tried to hit Justin Reed as tight end. It'll be second down and goal. Short sample size, but what do you make of the performance of Brendan Sullivan so far?
I mean, it's given them more juice than Jake Retzloff, but I think that's hard to judge because of where the game was. I think it's been okay.
Okay.
You know, nothing has been overly impressive for them offensively in this game.
4 of 10. Retzloff a spectator right now. Sullivan going to try and run it, nowhere to go. Stopped up at about the 7-yard line. Andrew Jones was the first one to get there. A loss of 1 on the play.
He should have pitched this ball out to the running back. If he gets it kicked out, you got blocks on the perimeter and a chance to score. I mean, the pitch man was kind of playing in between, but in that case, you either get downhill inside the guy or you just get it kicked to the outside.
Third and goal. Sullivan steps up, got it off, caught, touchdown, Green Wave. Brown Stevens takes the lid off the scoreboard with respect to a touchdown. That's their first touchdown of the day. And giving the fans that made the ride from New Orleans something to cheer about.
I mean, after this throw, Brendan Sullivan navigates the pocket. Watch the pressure he's under. Takes a hit, delivers a dime to the back of the end zone. He's upgraded from okay to good. I mean, that is now a good performance.
You moved him from a C+ to a B+, huh?
Maybe an A- after you get a 300-pounder in your face and throw a touchdown pass.
But a lot of poise stepping up in the pocket that time to make it 45-10 now with 3:42 to go. Tough afternoon for the Green Wave. After consecutive wins against Northwestern, at South Alabama, and then last week against Duke. On the verge of falling to 3-1.
A lot of people thinking that these two guys on your screen, Lane Kiffin on the right, John Summerall, Tulane head coach, on the left, could be squaring up against each other a lot more frequently, depending on what happens in the coaching searches.
Okay.
A little bit later on, John Summerall going to be at the top of a lot of those lists for the SEC. But how about this guy? Trinidad Chambliss, the last 2 weeks, over 650 yards passing, over 180 yards rushing. I mean, the guy has been done a real, 170 yards rushing. The guy's done a really nice job since he's come in. And the thing is, Mark, he hasn't turned the ball over, which, when Austin Simmons was healthy and playing, 2 interceptions in the first game, 2 interceptions in the second game. So with the way this offense is playing with Trinidad Chambliss, as Simmons gets more healthy, I think there's going to be a question of who you play, who's best to win games now.
Kick comes down to the 5. They call for a fair catch. Hey, Matt Berry, do you know that Ferris State actually offered me in basketball many moons ago? I want to. Oh, Matt, you say that to all the play-by-play guys. Out of Ferris State, what a great story. A.J. Maddox in the ball game now. Hands it off to Diggs, and Diggs with a nice sprint picks up the first down. I want to ask you this, Roddy. I'm not trying to stir it up, but let me anyway. Do we have a situation where Austin Simmons is QB1 and Chambliss is quarterback 1A? Not has he moved up from QB2 to QB1A?
You want me to get messy? Here's the thing that I think you're going to have to evaluate.
Right.
Austin Simmons, couple interceptions in each of those first 2 games that we just talked about. Trinidad Chambliss has not turned the ball over, and so if you can manage, especially as Austin Simmons is not fully healthy running the ball, you can manage to get by with Trinidad Chambliss, then I absolutely think you continue with the hot hand. I mean, his ability to run the football has been on full display the last couple weeks. You saw him throw the ball down the field a little bit more today and complete those, and even had one drop. The decision-making has been on point. The playmaking has been on point. So I would just, observing Austin Simmons, I would be surprised if he is close to 100% next week against LSU.
Okay.
And if Trinidad Chambliss has a good performance against that defense, I don't know how you take him out.
All right. It would be hard not to stay with the hot hand, especially while you're winning. And like you said, his discernment, decision-making has been beyond reproach. His stats, he hasn't turned the ball over. And as we approach the 2-minute timeout, not many bad things that you can say about Trinidad Chambliss. Feels like you said it without saying it.
I mean, look.
I'm going to give you a break, though.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Back after this.
One originates from the Palmetto State. The other fashions itself as the Athens of the zoo. Chase and Winslow were surely great. No placebo, but a real sharp Debo, and that you already knew. That was life then in Columbia, don't you agree? Now is then a state of early dominance from the SEC.
You heard the spoken word. 2 Columbias coming up next, and like Shane Beamer used to do with his father, Frank, he's with his son, Hunter, walking the field before their clash. Coming up next, right here on ESPN, South Carolina against Mizzou. It's great when you can get together with your son, and that's a walk that Shane Beamer, the head coach of the Gamecocks, used to make with his dad.
So cool. Special. And how about Ahmad Hardy? 154 rush yards per game. He is a bad man. One of the tops in the country in broken tackles as well. And how about our producer, Kim Belton? Usually we do one spoken word a week. He's just showing off now.
I know.
Hitting you with 2 of them.
It's that Stanford stuff, man. 90 seconds to go. Little handoff. Hardy with a couple of yards on the play.
That matchup after us, Missouri and South Carolina. Lenore Sellers, his status was questionable earlier in the week. You see the ball got loose, came out.
Yeah, it did. Taylor lost the handle on it.
I think we had a Tulane recovery. We're going to get a change of possession, but Lenore Sellers was questionable earlier in the week to play. His status upgraded to probable. Looks like he is going to play in that game against Missouri. That'll make
How
it
important
really
is he for them?
Oh, he's huge. That offense has been, quite honestly, pretty dreadful so far this season. So without their biggest playmaker, Lenore Sellers, it was going to be real tough sledding. Luke Doty came in a week ago in that game against Vanderbilt. Made a tough time moving the ball. So it's a huge development. How about Missouri? Our statistician Seth Jacobson hit us with a trivia question earlier this year. Number of wins over the last couple seasons. Missouri back-to-back double-digit win seasons. One of the winningest programs in the country.
Kind of under the radar, too. That's coming up next. Missouri, South Carolina. That one up for grabs, and the Rebels take it right back on the INT.
Well, Brendan Sullivan sees the space that his receiver's running into, but doesn't account for Cedric Beavers sinking the corner underneath that route. Doesn't get it quite far enough away from the safety. Going to turn over for Ole Miss.
Oh, he gets the slam dunk, too.
That was pretty vanilla.
Yeah.
I had to get a 6.5.
He did cock it back behind his neck, but yeah.
You got to come with more sauce today on an 8-foot goal.
So they get the ball back. .114 to go. Well, I guess Lane Kiffin's apprehension and angst over this quote-unquote sandwich game was a lot about nothing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they dragged Tulane today, 45-10.
That sandwich was delicious.
Yeah.
As they got the meat and cheese in the middle, took care of that with Tulane. Now you get LSU next week. That LSU defense is one of the absolute best in the country. Blake Baker's done a phenomenal job. Brian Kelly went out and got him reinforcements, especially in the secondary. Secondary much improved. It'll be a big test for this Ole Miss offense. Offensively, though, LSU has struggled this year. So defensively, Ole Miss continues to play like they did today. They should have some success.
You think that the Rebels can put up points against that Tiger defense?
I think they can move the ball and put up some points. Yeah. It'll be the biggest test offensively that LSU has faced. I mean, Ole Miss certainly better than Florida, certainly better than what Clemson showed week 1.
And, of course, the good news is that they get them here at home.
This place will be
against Oxford, yeah.
Unbelievable. There was some talk amongst the fans. Maybe we could get game day. I had to remind them there's some bangers next week. You got Oregon at Penn State. You got Georgia and Alabama, so you might not get game day, but this environment will be awesome.
Had a great time here in Oxford, Mississippi. 3rd down and 4 coming up. Nice little drive down from the Memphis airport through the windy country roads of Mississippi. And that'll do it. Just another day at the office for Trinidad Chambliss. Folks, remember the name. They have launched a star here in Oxford. 45-10, the final score once again. Good night from Oxford. I'm Mark Jones. For Roddy Jones and Quint Kesnick, right now we're going to send it back to the studio with Matt Berry for more. Matt?